Hello and welcome back to the Easy Geek TV channel. In this video we're going to go through the installation process for our distribution of choice, the distro for short as we used to call them in the Linux community, which is Linux Mint Mate, codename Xena for this case, which is the version 22.3. Now I've not installed it yet, and this video serves for that purpose. I want to clarify a few things, that this video is dedicated to beginners, so it's not dedicated for experienced users, computer users. Now, if you want to follow the video, follow along for fun, you can stick around and see the whole process. Now, for the rest of the users who want to go ahead and install this distro, you can follow along and how you can install it. Now, I'm going to assume a couple of things and clarify a couple of things. Like, I'm going to assume that you know how to prepare the USB flash drive. You've actually prepared it either using Rufus or Ventoy and now are ready to sort of go on with the installation process. And again, in this case, we're going to use the entire disk space. We're not going to use it to dual boot with the Windows system or use it in a virtual environment. None of that. This video is dedicated entirely to a real computer for everyday use. We're going to prepare the systems and adapt it to our needs in practical terms. So if you followed along and have watched the other two videos, we can go ahead and I'll start the process very soon. So the board I'm using, the motherboard in this computer, is an ASRock based one. So I'm going to demonstrate on the whole process. We need to disable the secure boot. We need to find out which is the boot up menu key, like the temporary boot selection device. We'll go through that now. So please follow along. It might be pretty much similar with other computers with a couple of changes in the BIOS menu. So do follow along. So I'm going to restart the system. This is a live, non-installed yet version of Linux Mint Mate. Restart it. We're going to hit delete. Now, it's doing that. I can just go ahead. You'll see probably the same message. Now, I'm going to hit delete so it throws us into the BIOS menu. It'll take a while. Again, I'm hitting delete. So this is the motherboard I'm using. Now, you can disable the secure boot. See, in my case, it is this tab in here, security. In some other BIOSes, in some other motherboards, it might be slightly different. So please do a research regarding your motherboard. If I go into that, as you can see, I've already disabled it. I've prepared the USB flash drive and I'm ready to go. So let's say it was not disabled for some reason. Let's say it was enabled. We'll need to go back, disable it, and then go at the exit tab. And here we can select the top one, which says save changes and exit, or we can just hit or press F10 and it'll ask us if we want to save the configuration changes. We want to do that, and you can see that this BIOS allows us to use the mouse. Go ahead. Now, in this motherboard, I have to hit F11 for it to start the boot menu. And I've prepared the USB flash drive using Ventoy. As you can see at the bottom, F11 is the key. And this is where we're going to select. The disk drive, or the SSD I've got, is an M.2 storage device with 256 gigabytes of space. This is the prepared USB flash drive, which we're going to use in our case. We can use each, doesn't really matter. I'm going to use that. It'll show us the menu. Ventoy is already loaded. As you can see, I've loaded two ISO images. One is the Linux Mint Mate, the second one. And the first one is Hiren's boot CD, which is used usually from technicians to restore broken systems, to recover data, and so on and so forth. In our case, we need to go on with Linux Mint Mate. I'm going to hit enter. Again, enter normal mode, and we'll start. Again, we need to hit enter. If you face any issues in here, you're gonna use the Start Linux Mint in compatibility mode. I've had a few cases where the Start Linux Mint the normal way sort of didn't work properly, so I've had to use at least a couple of times. I've had to use the compatibility mode, but we're gonna go on with the normal start procedure. Start Linux Mint, and this is just gonna go into the live environment. Let it load for a bit. Just gonna wait for it to load. Will take a while. A short while, actually. Right. So there it is. It's loading. Right, the system is loaded. And we can check here. Yeah, let's load the, yeah, there you go. Everything is loaded up. Now, as you can see, it does recognize the devices. The audio works and so on and so forth. Now, without losing our time, I would say we're going to start the installation process immediately. Double click on it. We're going to have to go through the process now. Okay, so we're going to hit continue on the start welcome window. I'm going to leave that as the English US keyboard layout. This is what I'm using at this time. You want, in your case, you might want to choose a different language. We definitely need to use the install multimedia codecs. This will be handy to play back MP3 files, video files, and so on and so forth. So we need that. Check it and give it the go, like continue. As you can see, it is a very straightforward process, quite simple actually. Now, you can get to adapt the disk drive according to your needs, but due to this tutorial dedicated to beginners, we're gonna go ahead and use the entire disk space as mentioned in the other video, in the previous video. So, and actually this is what I recommend for beginners, because it can get complicated if you want to do something else, like separate the root partition from the home partition, the swap partition, so on. If you do erase disk install Linux Mint, the installer will select the whole disk and will adapt it to its best proportions according to the maintainers of the Linux Mint project. So we can go on and use the entire disk space. As you can see, we're going to select this. By the way, you have to be careful here. This is the USB flash drive. You don't want to do that. You're going to damage it. I'm going to select the M.2 SATA drive. This is what I want to use. And as you can see here, it clearly says the entire disk space will be used. If you're happy with that, we say install now. It just wants us to make sure, and these are the changes that will take place. We can leave it as it is. Continue. Now I'm currently based in the UK, so my time zone is this. So let me see. Yeah, London. We can go ahead. Now I'm not going to use a name here. You can use a name, but what's important is this here. And I'm going to do the computer name that will show up, as you'll see later. I'm going to use Mintbox for this. And then for username, I'm going to use the initials for EasyGeek TV channel. So I'm just going to use EGTV. And it should be more than okay. For the password, select your own password and your username. I'm going to input my own password here. And repeat the process in the second window. Now, in my case, it's just a fair password. If you want to make it a bit more complicated, it's up to you, but you want to make sure that you remember that or have it in a safe, secure place so that you don't lose it, because this will be used extensively. Without this, you cannot log into your system. So be warned. So now you can select the login automatically, not suggested for many reasons. We will leave the default as the system is pre-selected here. Don't need to encrypt the home folder. That will cause more issues if you want to upgrade and so on and so forth. It gets complicated from there on. So I'm just going to leave the default ones here, which I suggest you do the same, and we can go on. Now, the installation process will take a while, and I suspect it might take up to 15 or even more, 20, 25, 30 minutes. It depends. So I'll skip this time now, so I don't waste of your time. Meanwhile, and we'll come back once this is done and we get it. Actually, this is very easy, really. As you can see, the installation process is quite simple. So see you in a bit then. So we are back, and as you can see, the installation process has finished. We were gonna do what is suggesting us to do, in this case, restart it. Since we are done, we're gonna go ahead, wait for it to restart. Right, hit enter. Remove the USB flash drive if you need to. So that was it. Congratulations if you followed along, installed it, and hopefully you're gonna find this right. I have to enter my password, and boom, there we are. Installation done, and everything is ready. Now you might want to follow along with the Welcome to Linux Mint window. First steps: customizing, updates, firewall. I would suggest you have a look at these to get accustomed to the Linux Mint way of doing things. I think you will enjoy this if you've never tried Linux before. I'll leave that as it is, show a dialog of startup. So pretty much that's it. Congrats. And yeah, I forgot to say that I did the installation process without being connected to the internet. Next video will be dealing with how to do the first updates to the system, how to set up the time shift, which is sort of like a system restore if you wish, to do some other changes, and so on and so forth. We'll start from now on customizing the system, tailoring to our needs so it can serve us pretty much very well. And after that, more programs to come: customizations, audio, documents, video, browsing. You'll see that this is a rock solid system. And again, don't forget to always remove your flash drives the safe way. As you can see here, eject, and it's gone. It's safely ejected now. Now, that's it. Congratulations if you followed along again. We'll see more stuff in the upcoming videos, so please do stick around, follow the channel, like and subscribe for more videos. And if you found this content helpful, of course, do share it with other people. Thank you, and see you in another video. Bye bye.